Hello again, everybody. This is Michael, KE4EST. And today, I wanted to go over this Heathkit VTVM. This is a vacuum tube voltmeter. Of course, it does. You can read ohms and stuff too with it. Does DC, positive and negative. And I got this years ago. I bring it in a little bit. Well, maybe not yet. I got this at a ham fest. It wasn't really a ham fest. It was a little, not even a swap meet. It was like kind of like a ham fest. It's supposed to be a ham fest. A buddy of mine was talking about it. He found out about it. Somebody told him, and blah blah blah. And so we went way off. We got lost a couple times, but we found it. We get there, and it's a little, literally just a little parking lot, with a few cars, their trunks open, and a truck or two, and a van or two, and that was it. And it was like, uh-oh, what is this? We drove all this way. It literally took us like 5 minutes to walk around the whole thing and look at everything. And I'm like, okay, I don't see a whole lot here. And maybe there's one thing I'm kind of interested in, but I just got here. I don't want to, take the, start spinning just yet or whatever. And so we just started seeing some other cars pull in. It was real early, and so we just waited a little bit. And then, make a long story short, it got to a point, I forget, like 30 minutes later or something, a car pulls up, and just happens to pull up next to where we're standing, and he comes in, opens his trunk up, and you can see the people coming. It's like flies, it's like, oh, there's something new, let's go check it out. So I'm the first one up to the trunk, and my buddy's behind me, and we look in, the guy opens, he's saying something like, oh man, a lot of people coming toward me. And I'm like, yeah, you're the new guy here, so I want to see what you got. He opens his trunk up, and the guy over my shoulder is like, hey, there's a bunch of tube stuff. That's the stuff that you talk about all the time. And I was like, yeah, I see that. And so this guy's like just holding up all kinds, mostly just Heathkit stuff. And he's so I'm like, okay, what do you got here? What do you want? And he's like, I don't know, whatever, and so, like, this is one of the things I got right here. I picked it up and said, how much you want for this? And I don't remember now, but it was something like $5 or $10. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And then there was a signal generator. And then there was a couple other things. And I was like, okay, I'll take this and that. And they was like $5, $10. And so I got them. And I remember when I got this, I brought it home, hooked it up, plugged it in, turned it on, didn't even open it up, check the capacitors or anything, and it worked. It did have these two leads, or either this one, the DC probe, was with it. I don't remember which was what it was missing, but I did check it out, and it did, get deflection on the needle. It did work, messed around with it a little bit, but and this was around, I'm going to say 93, 94, 95, somewhere in there. So, I had digital, VOM, and it was like, okay, it's cool. I'll sit up and look at it, and I didn't really do a whole lot with it. But I'm getting around now where, it's been sitting in storage for years. I want to pull it out. I want to open it up, see what's in here. Well, I got an idea of what's in here, but change out any caps or whatever, or any other parts. I need to be changed up, clean this up. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's some scuffs and stuff. Some of this, I'm just going to leave. But I don't know if you can see on camera. There's, let's see, these coffee stains or stains from something, who knows what. And go through and clean it up. But it's not going to be I mean, you look on the back here, you can see how it's got some spots. Check the line cord, replace it probably. Which looks like it's already been replaced. That's no way, that's an error there. I probably replaced that. You look at that. That looks to me like I took one of those little, you know, cheap extension cords and cut the extension cord, you know, the female end off of it and wired it in. So it may be okay. But the main thing is I want the inside to be, you know, electrically, you know, as good as it was, or good as it can be for what it is. Because I want to be able to use it. It's got a decibel reading on it. Use that for like line up receivers and stuff, and just to, you know, use the DC part of it for voltage checks when I'm doing things, so I can watch that needle, because it's so important sometimes. And I've got a couple of little small handheld, you know, ones that you know, I use, you know, I can test with and stuff. But there's nothing like having this and getting it restored and getting it back going. I mean, it might work right off the bat, I don't know. I've not plugged it in yet. Used to, I'd just get this stuff and plug it in, and sometimes it'd work. Sometimes I'd hear weird noises inside. Sometimes I'd see smoke. A lot of times it's from the leaky capacitors. But older and wiser now, so I know I'm not even going to plug this in. It's been sitting in storage. I've had it for at least, I'm going to say at least 20 years, probably longer. Yeah, I know it was early 90s, so longer than 20 years. So bring this thing back to work and put it on the bench and actually use it when I'm trying to make a measurement on something. And let me see, let me see that on camera. Let me get the light just right. There's actually a crack in the face there, but I just have to live with that. But use this, and when I want to look at something and see something, whatever, I can, you know, watch the needle. And you're doing something, sometimes you set little tiny movement in the needle when you're trying to adjust something. Where when you're looking at a digital multimeter, you know, some's got the bar graphs on them, but still it's not as accurate. And if not, it's got the, you know, you got the bunch of numbers just going crazy, and it's just hard to keep up with. So anyway, let's take this thing apart and see what's inside of it. Back up that just a little bit there. So let's see. I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's been over 20 years, but pretty sure I've had this open. But I don't know. I may not have had it open. But when I was especially younger, I do that now. When I was younger, I used to take everything apart. So I had to see what make it tick. And then as I got in my 20s and 30s and older, you know, I would open things up and, you know, I thought it was a kid thing, but no, when you really love this stuff, you just want to, even if it's something new, sometimes you want to look in it. That you know, you're not going to touch anything. You just want to open it up and just gaze at it, you know. So let's see if we can. Is that going to do it, or we got these two screws in the back here is going to have to come out. Well, at least it looks like it's got all of its screws with it. All this stuff sometimes, yeah, it just came loose. A lot of times these things are missing screws sometimes. This should just pull out. Something's catching here. Oh, that dreaded noise. Well, now that's interesting. First thing I noticed here. Let's set this very carefully. Okay. I didn't, I looked a little bit about this particular unit, but I know it was, I was thinking early 50s, maybe late 40s, but this, somebody has wrote in here with a pencil 11/27/49. So, and just a quick glance of it, I can see that this Well, maybe not. You know, they made these, you know, the kits, and they also had factory units you could buy. Let me get this routed through here. There, so I can get rid of that noise. But I don't know if you can see it. Well, probably can't. But that's either 49 or 47, 11/27. So, wait, there's another date in here. That's interesting. 11/27/47. Somebody scratched a date on it twice. Okay. Well, it definitely wasn't me, not back then. Alright. Okay, look at this. KE4EST 1994. So, that's when I was in it last time. And doesn't look like I've done anything though to it. I can see 2, 3. Yeah, let's see. Let's just start with. Ooh, I see something else that's got an issue here. Okay. Well, a couple things here I see. These. I'm having the hardest time getting my camera where I want it. Obviously, these two wax capacitors here is going to have to go. And another one. Let's see that. Right there. This one right here. If I just had this thing plugged in, I wouldn't be sticking my finger in so quickly and easily. But it's hard to tell. I'm thinking. See, we've got these where somebody's actually tied it off here, and everything's at sharp right angles. A lot of times factory does that if it's a good job. But also individuals can do that too. Well, there's a couple of places where it don't look like the solder got hot enough. Like any places like this where it's going to your common ground here input. So it may have been an individual got a kit and built this. But anyway, those three there's got to go. Is this a cap here? I see there's some corrosion on some of this stuff too. No, that's a resistor. Now look at these high precision resistors here. They got some corrosion. I need to clean that off. And hopefully they're still good. Sometimes it's hard to match these because a lot of times they match these. These will be these here will be odd values. They won't be like a standard, you know, you jump in 47K and 10K, or you know, 220 ohms, 270 ohms, something that's easy to find. A lot of times these, see, they get these, what they want to do is match this meter here. Okay, so they want the meter to, you know, when this to go to a certain place at a certain whatever, when you put on a certain thing, certain scale, and you want to hit, say, that 18 volts right there. When I'm on a 100 volt scale, actually that's 30 volt scale. So I'm on 30 volt scale, I want to hit that 18 volts. You know, we've got to get these resistors set to the right value, and they're usually high precision. You can tell they're not the, like back in here, You can see resistors. You can see that back in there. Resistors that are you know, just off the shelf, you know, resistors, but these a lot of times are, not always, but most of the time, these here will be oddball values that they make at the factory, have special made to match. So hopefully these are still good. If not, I'll have to, you know, figure out what it is, try to find 2 or 3 resistors so I can parallel together to end up making that, you know, or a series, you know, parallel combination, and it gets a little aggravating. But anyway, see, let me look at something a minute here. Yeah, there's a couple more capacitors in there, but they're not the kind that usually go leaky. I don't know if anybody spotted this yet. If you got a keen eye and you know, you've seen plenty of these, you'll know what I'm seeing. This right here's got to go. Here's something else I can tell. Definitely I put this line cord on here, and what in the world? Why did I do 94? I was pretty young in 94, so look at that. I would never do that nowadays. I would actually take this in and solder it in, you know, where it needs to go. Right here, this Selenium Rectifier, that has got to go. Those are not a, you know, will they fail, or maybe they'll fail. It's just the thing of when will it fail, and it may, you know, I might turn it on and get the smoke. And when those things go, they put off a nasty smoke that's really, really bad. So that's got to go for sure. And replace that with a, I have to use a modern silicon diode, but I'll have to put in a I'll have to calculate and put in a resistor too, because these drop more voltage than, you know, a silicon diode drops what, about 0.7 volts. These drop 10 to 20 volts. So I'll have to put in a resistor to drop the voltage so to match this with the diode. So that's got to go. And what else did I see here? I see something. I don't know if it's going to be on, get it on camera. I don't know why, but what is this here? Coming off of this, the ohms adjust. There's a wire that goes around the case and back up over in here. Comes off of here. It's right in the crease here. Let's see how this goes. It's right in that. Back in there. I just don't know if it's going to be able to get on camera. I can barely see it. Way back in there. And it has, like, I don't know why, there's no reason for it to get hot. I guess it's just the insulation of back then or something. It has actually, looks like it's melted, you know, not melted from being too hot, just kind of like sitting in the sun or something. Strange, but it's just crumbling apart back there, so I gotta replace that. It's gonna be interesting to get back into there, but that's got to go. Selenium Rectifier's got to go. These caps got to go. And so, check out the tubes. You get a 6SN7 and one of these little cute little 686s. This would be your rectifier, and this is a dual triode here. And the battery holder, I guess I took the battery out, didn't put a battery in it or something. A little bit corroded. To clean that up, put the battery in. Of course, this is just for the ohms measurement. Put some good batteries in this thing, it'll last forever. So anyway, well, I'll clean it up, change out that stuff, and when I come back, we will try it out. We'll go through the alignment procedure and get it lined up and get it working.